high octane fuel. Welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. My name is Nelson, and this is RPG Chat. And on RPG Chat today, I'm asking and answering the question in Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, Force and Destiny. What is up with the confusion about engaged attack difficulty? This is something that I didn't know was a thing, but in playing, the games in the Star Wars Tides of Change RPG group, watching a few things, I'm noticing that there seems to be an error constantly made when attacking with engaged range. So I'm going to figure out who the culprit is in the books and see if I can help clarify this issue. Now, some people think that attacking in melee is one difficulty, and switching screens, that's the culprit right there. Table 6-1. Engaged, easy. However, check out what it says. Ranged attack difficulties. Alright? So, regardless of what book you're using, whether it's Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, or Force and Destiny, turn to your conflict, conflict and combat, yes. Conflict and combat chapter. In the conflict and combat, go to section 2, building your dice pool, or assembling your dice pool. In any book, the pages always change depending upon which book you actually have, but the chapter and the sections and the charts are all identical. Now, in section 2, assembling your dice pool, give it a good read. You'll come to the section where it says melee attack difficulties are always average, 2 purple. Ranged attack difficulties depend on the distance the target is from the active character, or in other words, the range band the target occupies. Table 6-1, range attack difficulties, lists difficulties as they relate to different range bands. So we go back down to table 6-1. Again, the table, the chapter, and the section are all the same. The pages and where these lie may differ depend on what rules book you're looking at, but it's all the same. Ranged attack difficulties, going from extreme down to the shortest. Extreme is daunting, of course. Long is hard, of course. Medium is average. Short is easy. Now, if you've given a lot of the conflict and combat and range bands a good read, you know that engaged range is a modified version of short range. It's within arm's reach. So engaged range is also easy, but there are modifiers depending on the weapon used. See page 210. So let's go to page 210. Now the page number, again, is different for books and whatever. Oh, it's on this side. Making ranged at engaged targets. Table 6-4 shows you modifiers. Now look at the modifiers. Engaged with ranged light. So blaster pistol, holdout pistol, anything that would use the ranged light skill is a +1 difficulty. So it's 1 base +1 for a difficulty of 2. You roll the same difficulty die as you do with a brawl or a melee attack. Now, if you're engaged with a ranged heavy, the difficulty is +2, meaning you roll 3 purple dice when you make an attack against a target that you are engaged with and you are using blaster rifles, blaster carbine, I believe, anything that uses the ranged heavy skill. If you are within engaged range and you're using anything that uses the gunnery skill, you may not make a gunnery check while engaged ranged. That is the biggest culprit and what I think this confusion is. And one thing to note, is if you read the rest of making ranged attacks while engaged, just give that whole thing a good read, and you'll notice one thing that is often forgotten is that, I'll read this. Any opponent engaged with a character when he makes a ranged attack, no matter who the target is, may add a boost to his next brawl or melee check against that character. He automatically loses this bonus if either he or the character are no longer engaged with one another. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly how it reads. What it's saying is that if I'm firing a pistol engaged with someone who's either using their fists, using a sword or an axe or a dagger, a knife, a vibroblade, the person who is using the actual melee or brawl weapon gets to add a free boost die against me if I'm shooting at them while engaged with them, because firing a gun is harder to do in engaged range than at any other range. This is Star Wars, not Equilibrium. There's no gun kata going on. So I hope that clears up all the confusion. I hope I was able to help. And if there are any more questions, I'll look into the rules and see if I find things that aren't used so much or a little bit vague in the community that needs a little pointing out. Until then, my name is Nelson. This has been Infinite Roleplay. Peace.